Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Failing your way to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, first of all, as you probably realise, this video is a pat on the back, blowing the trumpet that we've hit 100,000 subscribers, which has been my aim ever since we crossed 10,000 subscribers. I wanted to get to 100,000 subscribers, and I wanted to primarily get there on my own, just plugging away doing videos. And I've done that, and I'm very, very proud. And all the usual stuff that channels say when they hit 100,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone that's watched and supported the channel, that comments, that subscribes, and especially a huge thank you to all the people that support the channel through patrons that I've got to know. Massive thank you. Without you and the guys that just watch and comment, the channel wouldn't be successful, and it's reasonably successful for what it is. And that is a one-man band, still talking to the same budget camera that I got all those years ago when I started. And I bought it because I wanted to start a music channel. And I started that channel, and that channel was there, JD's Folk and Blues, with 315 or something like that semi-deaf subscribers. And the detailing channel was just something that I was doing. I thought, why not just create another channel, which is easy enough to do some stuff on detailing, because it's always a passion of mine. Cars have always been a passion of mine. Restoring cars have always been a passion. Project restorations and stuff like that I've been doing for decades. Detailing is something that helps me with that a little bit, but it's become a massive passion for me. And the simple aim of the Forensics Detailing channel was to take lots of products, you know, and compare them and give you the results based on some facts that I could demonstrate to you. That was the core of what we do, and what we still do now. You can still see the next test that we're rolling out, and we will always do as a channel, and hopefully that gives you a lot of value, whether you do support the channel directly through Patreon or you just come in and watch it. I think people get value out of those, and the biggest feedback I get is that people enjoy the recommendations, follow the recommendations, and are very pleased with the recommendations. That's a message that is sunk in since day one, even though I don't always get it spot on, but you know what I mean, the intent's good. Forgive the coughing, guys, I'm still getting over the corona. Well, it's not corona, don't panic, I haven't got corona. I've got a chest infection, and I've had it for about 5 weeks. I was speaking to my GP on the phone today, and I've got no temperature. I just got this chest infection, so they give me some steroids anyway. Hopefully that will shrug it off. We're an independent channel. It's just me. We're very proud to stay independent. When I started, there was probably a handful of detailing channels out there. This is going back about 4 or 5 years. There was one in the UK. Joe was the only one I can think of. There was a few over in America, but very few detailing channels. Now there are hundreds starting each week. There are thousands out there, and a lot of them are all doing the same content, stuff like that. Don't want this to be a negative video, but the whole point of this video is failing. The channel will continue to do content that I think is of interest, even if that means failing. And I've been failing miserably with 99% of the videos that I try to do, all the way down to, like, you know, reviewing little pocket mini tools and things like that. They all tend to flop, but it's that trying stuff and different stuff which I really enjoy, rather than now, after 4 or 5 years of doing it, I understand what makes a video work, and I could make a video work every single time if I wanted to. I could. So it sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet. Just trust me, I could. But I just try and do mainly what interests me within a point, you know. So there's a bit of a balancing act there. So the main point is we're going to be continuing to fail. And failing is a healthy sign, guys. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. One other thing is, it's been a real pleasure to engage. You will notice, if you go through all of the videos that I've posted, virtually all of them, don't quote me, I've tried to engage, answer millions of questions, because it's enjoyable getting to know some of you. Some of you are funny, and that's part of the enjoyment. I think it's a really healthy sign. when you're engaging with your audience, because you don't get anything for doing it. So it's a healthy sign when someone is spending their time to talk to people, enjoy it, try and help people. So I'll always try and do that as well. I've had to manage that side of the channel as it's grown a little bit bigger. You know, I've had to manage that, and that's why we're not active. I can't reply to DMs on Instagram. I don't have any messaging. You will not be able to get me on Facebook. If you want to contact me, you're going to have to comment. That's the best way to contact me. And that's all I can cope with, really. So that's fine. Finally, guys, I had two big concerns when I started this channel. Big concerns that I don't often talk about. But my first concern was that the channel was going to be a laughing stock because it was going into too much detail over things that people might argue weren't relevant. Like, for example, we would do an hour-long video broken up over 3 parts, exploring 20 different cloths and going through and comparing them and ranking them and stuff like that. And I thought some people would just be like, just get this one, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. That never really happened. What happened was, that surprised me, people have just as strong opinions as I did about them and were just as passionate about it. And that theme, or that what's the word? That sentiment is carried on all the way through the channel. As I've talked about other things, you guys are just as passionate about your cars and detailing, how important all this stuff is to enjoying your car more, adding to the enjoyment of maintaining your car. You're just as passionate as any YouTuber, if not more, and I mean that. Some of you are brilliant, and you've been with me following the channel and supporting it from day one, and it's the positivity that keeps you going, because the bigger you get, the more you do YouTube, you have to deal with some absolute imbeciles, and the volume of imbeciles that come through, the larger the channel gets, is unreal. So that's counteracted by lots of people that have lots of passion. That's my first point. So I didn't need to be worried about the channel being a laughing stock by being too into its detailing, if you pardon the pun. And the second thing that I was a little bit worried about when I first started was putting your face on videos all over the internet. That didn't kick in till I probably got to a few thousand subscribers, and then I suddenly realised, hang on a minute, people are actually watching this, and I did it, and I never really asked myself or expected that it would ever kind of get going, the channel, and I never asked the question, did I actually want it to? And that's just something you've got to kind of get used to as a kind of YouTuber. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be, you know, I've been presenting the channel for 4 or 5 years now. I'm getting on a little bit. So I don't know how long I can carry on doing the presenting, and the channel's at a really good size now. So lots of channels, excuse me, I'm going to cough. I'll wash my hands in a minute. Lots of channels that get to this size look at things like presenters and a commercial premise. And that's the stuff that people that know me and engage with me on the channel know I've talked about before. That might, when I talk about something, it usually takes a couple of years for it to get implemented. But that's something I'm thinking about, because the size of the channel now is significant. There's not that many kind of detailing channels in the UK that are more than 100,000, and most of them are commercial channels, what I call commercial channels that are promoting. They're either promotional channels or mini commercial entities. There's nothing wrong with both of those things, but I don't want Forensics Detailing channel to become that. So it's a small independent channel that is there to give you value, and if I stick to those rules, it should be good. Guys, the last 4 or 5 years, however long it's been an absolute pleasure, and really looking forward to the future. And like you hear me saying, the #1 important thing about doing YouTube is to try and make it enjoyable, and then the rest will kind of take care of itself. So what's going to happen in the next 4 to 5 years, who knows? But I'm as prepared to fail now as I was back in day one. So thank you for your support, and that's about it. Take care. Bye.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I?